Okay, so those of you that listen to the podcast, you know that I've been following some YouTube gamblers over the past month, trying to track some gains, track some losses, compare them against myself to see how I'm doing. I got them all here, and it's the end of the month. Today's the first, so let's go over and see how everybody did in April. Okay, so some quick overview here before we get into it too much. I got 8 gambling outlets here, 7 YouTube channels, and myself. We went, as far as the total goes, we went 4 and 4. 4 in the black, 4 in the red. Unfortunately, I fell in the red. And even though 4 of them lost money, I still think that if you're a smart bettor, a smart gambler, and you pick and choose which games you tail instead of just following the whole slate like I have done here, I still think that you can make money from any or all of these gamblers. And if you wanted to follow my bets, I don't do them here on YouTube, although Andy and I have discussed that, possibly starting this football season, so look out for those. Come check out the podcast. We'll keep you updated on that. But I list all of my bets over on Twitter, which, all of these channels, our podcast, the Twitter, the Facebook, it's all linked in the description below. So go check that out. So you can see here, there's a lot of minus 110s. If they didn't give odds, then I just threw it down as a minus 110. That's pretty normal for a handicap bet. I mean, you can always find different odds in different sports books, but if that was just a general rule I did. If they didn't give odds, I threw it down as a minus 110. I think the colors are probably pretty self-explanatory. Green is a win, red is a loss, and yellow is either a push or a game that got postponed for whatever reason. It's a bet that didn't lose but didn't pay. And I tracked it all in units. And basically what a unit is whatever your normal bet equals a unit. So if you're normally betting $20, then you take these numbers and multiply it by 20. If you normally bet 100, you take this number and multiply it by 100, and that's what your outcome would be. So let's start out with the channel that came in 8th place, and there is a bit of an asterisk on this one because I didn't start tracking this one until about April 10th. So they're 10 days short, but let's look at the number here. They came in at minus 21 units. So that's roughly down a unit a day from when I started tracking them. I don't care what they did in the first 10 days of the month. They probably aren't going to recover from that. So that was rough. And as you can see, they did about 5 bets most days. A couple of days they did 4. But it looks like there's 3 days here that they lost all of them. So they're down 5 units. And like I said, if you're betting, $50 on each one of these, you're down $250 for a day. That's not good. Hopefully they can bounce back in May. Okay, so we got Tony's picks here at 7th place at down 18, almost 19 units, and they do every single game in the NBA and MLB every single day this month. So there's a lot of bets here. And they had a couple of really, really good days, but they also had a couple of really, really bad days. Let's see if we can point some out here. I think there was one, like they were down 12 units in one day. Here they're up 7, almost 8. That's pretty good. Here, down 11, almost 11 and a half units on that day. And, yeah, like I said, if you're smart and you pick and choose what you're tailing instead of just doing the whole slate, you can still make money off of this. Okay, so I came in here at 6th place for the month at down 9 1/3 units. I started off the month really slow here. -4, -2, only up a half, minus or down 2.5. I was able to catch a few good days in here. Here I'm up 6.5. The last day, or to finish off the month, I went 3 for 3 in the draft to catch me back up by 6 units, which was pretty good. But I got in trouble here in the middle because I'm really put at a disadvantage being keeping track of all this. I started chasing here in the middle, and it wasn't good. I learned my lesson. I won't do that anymore. Got to be real smart with my bets. You see a lot of plus value in here. I like doing plus value bets. I like trying to find those underdogs that I think can win. And that's a lot easier to do at the beginning of the season. I usually do pretty well with it at the beginning of football, the beginning of basketball. I don't follow baseball as much, but I have found some good winners in here. It's just, here at the end of hockey and basketball season, they're not as easy to pull off those underdogs. But, it happens. I'll bounce back in May. So 7th is this Jack Winningham, a channel over on YouTube, down almost 7 units, a little less than 7 units. And he doesn't make a whole lot of picks, but as you can see, he had quite a stretch where he didn't win any. He had one really good day in here. Yeah, see right in here, he's hedging his bet. So he took the Twins, Indians, and Oilers on the goal line as a parlay, and to hedge that bet, he took the Senators on the goal line, just in case, because the Senators were playing the Oilers. So I mean, if he said that if the Twins and or Indians didn't win, this parlay wouldn't be alive by the time the Oilers and Senators played, so he wouldn't have took this. That would have just been throwing away more money in his eyes, But he gave it out in the video, so I put it down regardless. He ended up winning on the parlay, but then he, lost another unit here with his hedge bet. So I don't know. I totally get what he's doing. I totally understand it. And it probably is necessary to try to make gambling, make your living off of gambling. I just think that if you aren't confident in a bet, then don't bet it. But it's all good. Who am I? He beat me, so who am I to say anything? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that ended up being his best day at up 3.45 units, but it would have been up 4.5 units instead of the 3.5 if he wouldn't have made this hedge bet. But it is what it is. So 4th place is Professor MJ. That's the name of the YouTube channel. He's a statistics professor at a university up in Canada. I like his videos a lot, and he makes some really good bets. I know he's only up 7 units, but that's 7 units. That's pretty good for the month. He comes in 4th place here, and he actually created his own baseball simulator for this season. And I don't have a record on his baseball bets here, but he did pretty well. And he's also a hockey fan, so there's a lot of hockey bets in here. And then you can sign up on an email listing of his, and he will send you his one baseball bet every single day, and that's free. And that's the only other place I got bets for this spreadsheet besides YouTube, because he doesn't typically make videos over the weekend very often, and I wanted to keep some bets going for him. So like here where he only has one bet and it's baseball, that was a weekend. That one's a weekend. It looks like. So I mean, he doesn't make bets every single day either, or at least doesn't get sent to you every single day. But he did make some UFC bets in here, and he did not do very well with those. Down almost 5 units that day. But overall, pretty good month. You can't complain with a 7-unit month. If you're betting $100, that's $700 in your pocket for the month. Okay, we got third place with Champs Only Sports. They came in at up 8 units for the month, and these guys. There's three people here on this channel, and you can see some times twos here's. There's also a times three somewhere right here with the Kings, and that is where like I said, there's three guys on this channel, so if two or three of them all agreed on one pick, and like sometimes they'll do videos together, sometimes they'll post separate videos, but no matter how they did it, if they agreed on a pick, and I'm not just saying, yeah, I like that pick, it has to be something like, yeah, that's what I was going to say too, or I really love that pick, that's a good take on that one. You know, it has to be something a little bit more than, yeah, that's nice. You know what I'm saying? So if they did something like that, then I counted it 3 times. You know, so the payout for the Knicks came out 3 times instead of just once because they won here. But that's the only thing I really did different here with these guys. And like I said, early in the month, half a unit, 6 units, 3.5, 2.5. Over here is almost 4. They were killing it early in the month. Had a bit of a slump here towards the end, but they're doing really well, and maybe they can pick it back up here in May. That's a good one to watch. Second place we got here is Bender Wins. This is another hockey fan, and a lot of these guys are probably professional gamblers, but he actually says that he's a professional gambler. And he does something a lot like what I did with Champs Only, but I didn't count it in here. In May, I will be counting it. Let's see, like this line here, he has 3 bets on the Kings. One of them to win, one of them to win without going to overtime, and then one of them to win on the puck line. Like one of these was like he called it a 2-unit play. And basically what it is just like these Champs Only guys where 2 of them agree. I just didn't count it. That's on me. Would it have changed a whole lot? Would it have increased his 10 units for the month? Probably not. Because he also does half-unit plays sometimes, which would have cut into his profit. And, you know, he didn't win all those double-unit plays, so... But next month, I will keep track of that. But yeah, he got on a real heater here in the last half of the month or so. Looks like only 2 losing days. And, I mean, that's probably a 14-day stretch right there. And he does a lot of gambling education, too. Some really good stuff. I definitely like what he does over there, and I'm going to go back and watch a lot of his education stuff. Because it proves that he knows what he's talking about. Early in the month was a slump, but he more than made up for it, coming in second place, up more than 10 units. And then first place, we got Calling Our Shot here at almost 11 units. And these guys do, there's 2 guys that run this channel. Austin, who does the basketball picks. Yeah, as you can see, he loves his player props. Does a really good job with them. And then Logan does the baseball picks, and he also does a really good job. Again, these guys were on a bit of a slump here later in the month, but not terrible. And, you know, they had some really good days in here, too. Up 11 units for the month. That's crazy. That's great. So, yeah, that's how these channels did in the month of April. Some of them really, really well. A couple of them really, really bad. A few others just right there in the middle, really. Which is about what you would expect. And next month, I don't expect to see a complete flip. You know, I don't expect to see picks and parlays up 25 units. But I expect them to come closer to breaking even. Maybe even being up a unit or 2, because that's how it all works. You know, I would love to see myself up a few units to try to come closer to breaking even. these guys like Bender wins. I expect him to be pretty consistent, being right around breaking even or up every single month. But we'll see how it goes. If you guys have some channels that you follow and really like, go ahead and tell me about them. I'm willing to add some channels to this and see what we can do. I already have one Twitter account that I'm going to add for the month of May and one podcast that I'm going to add. So if you guys want to throw some stuff at me, I'll go check it out. If I like it, I'll add it. That's all there is to it. There was one YouTube channel that I found during the month of April. He had 20-minute videos where he mostly talked about his haters and politics and then only gave 2 picks. So I washed my hands of it and moved on. I don't need videos like that. I prefer to try to just get these videos or these picks in real quick. Like Professor MJ and Jack does like 3-minute videos. It's really quick. Professor MJ does something like 5 to 7 minute videos. They're pretty quick. That's what I want for the spreadsheet. If you want something more, that's totally fine. It's just if I'm doing a lot of these like this, I want to keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? So that's all there is to it. And yeah, we're gonna start in on May. Hopefully those that lost units in April can turn it around. Hopefully those that won units in April can keep it going. So go check these guys out. Tell them I sent you. Tell them about this video. And maybe we can get the TDs and Beer podcast with some of these guys and see what we can do with a collaborative effort or something. That would be really cool. That would help us out a lot. It might help them out a lot too. So if you haven't done so already, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'll do another one of these at the beginning of June, and we'll keep it rolling.